Welcome to our channel book podcast. Expand your mind and transform your life.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive. We're really excited for today's topic.
Yeah, this one's a big one.
It is. It's Simon Sinek's Leaders Eat Last. We're going to be delving into the fascinating world of leadership and human behavior. And we've got a bunch of sources here, a YouTube summary,
We've also got some studies,
some really eye-opening studies,
and even a peek into
a glimpse into the U.S. Marine Corps.
it's
So,
kind of pointing toward the core of
yeah, what makes a great leader and how those principles can impact.
not just our workplaces,
Mhm.
but our whole society.
Exactly. Are you ready to unlock these secrets with us?
Let's dive in.
Let's do it. So one of the things that really struck me about Sinek's book is how he takes us all the way back to our hunter-gatherer ancestors.
Yeah, to explain how important cooperation is.
Right.
And he makes this point that it's not just some fluffy trait.
Right.
It's like embedded in our biology,
Yeah.
like a survival mechanism.
It really makes you think about how we're wired for connection.
Oh, absolutely.
The YouTube summary we have here dives into the science behind it,
The really cool science.
highlighting 4 key chemicals:
Okay.
endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin.
Those are the big players.
That create this drive to work together.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
this. They actually make us feel good while doing it.
Amazing, isn't it?
It's like we're programmed to be team players.
We are.
So let's break down these chemicals a bit,
Okay.
because I find this so fascinating.
Yeah, me too.
Sinek labels endorphins and dopamine as selfish chemicals.
Which sounds a little harsh.
Yeah, it does sound a bit judgmental.
But it's because they're linked to individual drive and reward.
Gotcha. So it's like that runner's high you get after a great workout,
It goes,
or the satisfaction of finishing a challenging project.
the feeling of I did it,
Yes. That's endorphins and dopamine at work.
pushing us toward those personal wins.
Okay, so that's the me side of the equation.
Right.
But what about the we? Tell me more about the selfless chemicals, serotonin and oxytocin.
Okay, so serotonin is all about social status.
Like where we sit in.
Exactly. That feeling of belonging and respect within a group.
So like if you get recognized for a contribution you made to a team effort,
Yeah. You feel that surge of pride.
and that's serotonin.
That's serotonin.
Interesting. What about oxytocin?
Oh, oxytocin.
I've heard it called the cuddle hormone.
It is. It is.
What's that all about?
Well, it's all about trust,
Okay.
bonding.
Empathy.
It's that warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you really connect with someone.
Exactly.
So it's like we're constantly balancing these two sides of our nature.
We are.
On one hand, we're driven to achieve our own goal.
Right.
And on the other,
We crave that connection
yeah, that sense of belonging.
with other.
It's like this constant push and pull.
It is a dance.
And maybe the most effective leaders
Or the ones,
understand that dance.
yes, who get that. It's not about choosing one over the other.
It's about
It's about finding that sweet spot.
that balance.
Exactly, where people feel challenged, pushed to do their best,
And also safe
and supported.
to take risks.
Yeah, it's not an either-or situation.
Not at all.
It's harnessing the power of both.
The power of me.
And this reminds me of those high-performing teams you see,
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
like in sports or
Yeah.
the military.
They're so competitive.
Fiercely competitive.
But there's this deep sense of camaraderie.
Yeah, like they'd do anything for each other
That's what makes them so successful.
because they trust each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this brings us to Sinek's analogy
Oh, yeah.
of the circle of safety.
Love this concept.
It's so powerful.
It is.
And he uses the example of the U.S. Marine Corps,
Okay.
where leaders prioritize the well-being of their troops
Above all else.
above all else.
Oh.
It creates a culture where everyone feels protected
So they could,
and empowered
yeah.
to focus on the mission
Mhm.
rather than
Right.
instead of worrying about.
Yeah, backstabbing or internal competition.
Exactly.
You know what's funny? That makes me think of
What?
that scene in the movie 300
Oh, yeah.
where the Spartan warriors
Yes.
lock sheep.
Forming a literal circle of safety.
Yeah, their strength lies in their collective defense.
Right. Knowing that each individual
Is only as strong
as the whole group
I wonder if that sense of shared purpose
is what fueled their legendary.
is rich and effective. No.
It's a great connection. And, you know,
Yeah.
the Spartans understood
What?
that their survival depended on them functioning as a unit.
A cohesive unit.
It's a concept that transcends
Time.
and culture.
Yeah. And this brings up a crucial question
What's that?
for you, the listener.
Okay, like this.
Do you feel that same sense of safety and belonging in your own workplace? or even in your social circles.
Do you feel like you can trust the people around you? That you're all working toward a common goal?
It's a powerful question to consider.
It is.
Because if our biology is wired for cooperation,
Which it seems like it is.
and we thrive in environments where we feel safe and supported, that begs the question, how do we create more of those circles of safety?
In our own lives.
Yeah, in our own lives and in the lives of others.
That's where Sinek's concept of leaders eat last really comes into play.
Okay, so tell me more about that.
So he argues that true leaders prioritize the well-being of their people above their own self-interest.
Okay, so it's not about putting yourself first.
That's
It's
about...
about putting your people first.
Okay, let's unpack this idea a bit further.
All right, let's do it.
Sinek uses this example
Yeah,
of Captain Mike Drowley.
nicknamed Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo, who risked his own life to protect his troops in Afghanistan.
Such a powerful story.
It really is. And what struck me about this story
Yeah.
wasn't just the act of heroism itself,
Right.
but Drowley's intuition.
His gut feeling
Yeah, he sensed his men were in trouble.
before they even called for help.
And he flew into a combat zone
Wow.
to protect them instead of staying safe in the air.
Now that's putting people first. That's true leadership right there.
Yeah, and this type of leadership
Yeah.
stands in stark contrast
Too thick.
to those leaders who operate from a place of,
Self-interest.
yeah, and fear
Yeah, and end up creating toxic environments.
that ultimately backfires.
Exactly. Sinek talks about Stanley O'Neill,
The former CEO of Merrill Lynch,
whose relentless focus on short-term profits.
and this culture of cutthroat competition.
Yeah, led to the company's downfall.
It's a real cautionary tale.
It is. It shows what can happen when you have a lack of trust.
And empathy.
It's a reminder that leadership isn't about wielding power.
It's about empowering others.
Yeah, it's not about asking, what can my people do for me?
Right.
It's about,
It's about asking.
what can I do for my people?
Yes. It's a subtle shift,
Right.
but a profound impact.
Absolutely. And it's not just about grand gestures of heroism either.
No, it's about those everyday choices,
To be kind, supportive, understanding.
even when it's hard.
Yeah, even when you don't feel like it.
Exactly. It's about creating that culture.
Where everyone feels valued and respected.
Yes. Where success is measured by the collective well-being,
Not just the bottom line.
not just the numbers.
It makes you wonder,
What
if we all, in our own way, started adopting this leadership style?
What kind of ripple effect could we create?
In our families, workplaces, communities.
Yeah, it's a question worth exploring.
It is. And it leads us to another critical point Sinek makes. The dangers of abstraction.
Oh, that's a good one.
In today's world, we're so distanced from the human element.
We are?
We treat people like numbers.
Or cogs in a machine.
Forgetting the real impact our decisions have on their lives.
It's easy to fall into that trap.
Yeah, it's like that saying, it's just business.
Right.
But there's always a human cost.
Always.
And as we saw with Stanley O'Neill and Merrill Lynch, those costs can be devastating.
They can.
It's easy to lose sight of the individual.
When we're focused on those abstract concepts.
Yeah, profits, market share.
Efficiency.
Yeah,
It's almost like we forget there are real people involved.
it's like those food industry scandals,
Oh, where they knowingly sold contaminated products,
just to boost their bottom line.
putting people's health at risk.
It's a stark reminder of what can happen when we put profits over people.
It is. And unfortunately, these examples are more common than we'd like to think.
Sobering thought, isn't it?
It is. There's a real danger in this disconnect.
Yeah, this tendency to lose sight of the human element.
It's almost like our modern world makes it easier to fall into that trap.
It's like we're losing our empathy.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another critical point.
Okay.
The dopamine-driven society we live in today.
Oh, the dope.
We're constantly chasing those dopamine hits.
From achievement, technology, even addictive substances.
It's like we're on a never-ending quest for instant gratification.
Always looking for that next hit.
Yeah, it's like we've forgotten how to delay gratification.
Or even appreciate the simple things.
It's a fascinating observation that Sinek makes.
It is.
He argues that this constant chase for instant gratification, yeah, a sense of entitlement,
And disconnect.
yeah, from the values of community and shared purpose.
Especially amongst younger generations.
And it makes you wonder,
What?
If there's a connection between this dopamine-driven mindset
Yeah.
and the generational divide.
Interesting.
Sinek suggests that the baby boomer generation's focus on individual success and material wealth
Okay.
has had a profound impact on subsequent generations.
Lighting too.
Yeah, like a me-first mentality.
Right.
That makes it harder to connect with that deeper sense of purpose and belonging.
It's like we've inherited this me-first legacy.
Yeah, that we need to unpack and examine.
That's a really insightful connection.
It is. And it begs the question,
Hit me with it.
are we becoming a society of addicts?
Oh, wow.
Constantly chasing fleeting pleasures?
At the expense of?
Yeah, genuine connection and meaning.
Those are some big questions.
They are.
Yeah.
What are the long-term consequences of this dopamine-driven mindset?
I don't know, but I think it's something we need to figure out.
Yeah, we need to explore this further.
Absolutely. These are profound questions.
That deserve our attention.
For sure.
Especially as we delve deeper into Sinek's ideas about leadership.
And the path to creating a more fulfilling and meaningful future.
Yes. For ourselves and for generations to come.
I love that.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, there's so much more to uncover.
There is. We're just getting started, folks.
Buckle up.
Stay tuned.
It really is a crucial question. And one Sinek doesn't shy away from.
Okay, so he offers some solutions.
He does. He says that despite the challenges we face,
Yeah.
there's still hope.
Oh, good.
We can choose to break free from this cycle.
This cycle of instant gratification.
Exactly. And rediscover that power, human connection,
Yeah.
and shared purpose.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
Not at all. It's not an easy path,
Right.
but it's one worth taking
Okay, so what are some things we can do?
to break free from this cycle.
Yeah, and become better leaders ourselves.
Well, one of the key things Sinek talks about is the power of shared struggle
Okay.
and purpose.
Shared struggle and purpose.
He uses the example of the AA community,
Okay.
where people find strength and support
In.
in helping each other overcome addiction.
It's not about individual willpower.
Right. It's about tapping into that collective strength
And resilience.
that comes from shared experiences.
A common goal.
Exactly.
That reminds me of Bill Gates
Oh, yeah.
and his early vision for Microsoft.
Oh,
It wasn't just about building a successful company
right.
or making money,
It was about making a real impact.
putting a computer on every desk.
Yeah, that's ambitious.
Yeah, kind of ambitious goal, that sense of a larger purpose.
It can be incredibly motivating.
Yeah, it can bring people together and inspire them to achieve amazing things.
Things they never thought possible.
Exactly. So it's about finding that cause
Yeah.
that's bigger than ourselves.
That resonates with our values.
Or deepest values and aspirations.
It doesn't have to be something grand.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like eradicating poverty or...
Colonizing Mars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It could be something as simple as...
Supporting a local charity.
Yeah, or mentoring a colleague.
Or just being there for a friend in need.
Yeah, those small acts of kindness can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we get so caught up,
In the big picture.
yeah, in the grand vision that we forget about the everyday acts of leadership.
The small things we can do each day.
Those small acts can have a ripple effect.
Creating a more positive environment for everyone.
It's not about waiting for someone else to step up,
It's about taking ownership.
being the change we want to see.
Becoming the leader.
Sinek emphasizes that leadership isn't about titles.
Or positions of authority.
Yeah, it's about taking responsibility for the well-being of those around us.
Whether it's our family, our team, or our community.
I'm hearing a real shift in perspective here.
What's that?
It's not about me and what I can achieve individually.
Right.
It's about we and what we can accomplish together.
It's recognizing that our success is intertwined with the success of those around us.
That's a powerful thought.
It is.
And this is where the leaders eat last concept comes full circle.
Okay, how so?
It's about putting the needs of others before our own.
Like those Marine Corps leaders we talked about.
Yeah, risking their lives to protect their troops.
It's about recognizing that true leadership is about service,
About making a positive impact.
even if it means making sacrifices.
You know, when you put it that way, it reframes the whole idea of sacrifice.
How so?
It's not about giving something up.
Right.
It's about investing in something bigger than ourselves.
That's a great way to look at it.
And Sinek argues that we all have the potential to be leaders,
We all have that spark within us
to make a difference.
in our own unique ways.
It's not about waiting for someone else to step up.
It's about taking ownership
Yeah.
and becoming the change we want to see.
That's such an empowering message.
It is. He's giving us permission to step into our own leadership potential,
To make a difference in whatever way we can.
regardless of our title or position.
And he challenges us to ask ourselves,
What kind of leader do we want to be?
what impact do we want to have on the world?
Those are big questions.
They are, but they're worth pondering.
Because ultimately, our legacy isn't about the money we make.
Or the accolades we accumulate.
It's about the lives we touch,
The difference we make.
the positive ripple effect we create,
That's the true measure of success.
the kind that transcends those fleeting dopamine hits
And leaves a lasting impact.
on generations to come,
It's a powerful thought.
that challenges us to rethink our priorities
Embrace a more purpose-driven approach.
to leadership and to life itself,
And then it all circles back to that fundamental human need
for connection,
for belonging.
that desire to be part of something bigger than ourselves.
It's fascinating because earlier we were talking about those 4 chemicals.
Oh, yeah.
Endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin.
Ones that drive us to connect.
It's almost like we're hardwired for purpose, for meaning, for connection.
It's in our DNA.
And Sinek's message is clear.
What's that?
We can choose to tap into that potential.
We can choose to create a world where leaders eat last.
And everyone thrives.
It's a beautiful vision.
It is. It's a powerful call to action.
It makes you think about all the different ways we can contribute
Yeah. All the different circles of safety we can create.
in our own lives and in the lives of others.
It really is. And while it might seem idealistic,
It all starts with each of us
making a conscious choice,
to lead with integrity
compassion,
and a deep commitment to the well-being of those around us.
it's a challenging but inspiring call to action.
One that has the potential to transform not just workplaces.
But entire societies.
It begs the question,
What will your contribution be?
how will you answer the call to leadership?
That's a great question to leave our listeners with.
It is. Because this isn't just about understanding Sinek's ideas,
It's about taking action.
putting these principles into practice in our own lives.
Wow, it really feels like we've been on a journey together today.
It does, doesn't it? Unpacking all these ideas from Leaders Eat Last.
Yeah, we started with,
Our biological predisposition for cooperation.
yeah, and then explored the whole
Circles of
safety concept.
And then we even got into
Yeah, the potential downsides of,
a dopamine-driven society.
which is kind of where we left off.
Yeah, it's amazing how all these pieces connect.
They do, and what I find really inspiring is that Sinek doesn't just point out the problems.
Right. He doesn't just leave us hanging.
He offers a path forward, a vision for a better future.
He does.
Speaking of visions,
Yeah.
I keep thinking back to that YouTube summary we mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah.
There was this quote that really stuck with me.
Oh, was it?
It was something along the lines of, great leaders don't inspire us to follow them. They inspire us to become better versions of ourselves.
Wow. That's powerful.
Isn't it?
It
It
is.
reminds us that leadership isn't about control or authority.
It's about empowerment.
Yeah, it's about creating the conditions for others to thrive.
And reach their full potential.
And it's not just about grand gestures or sweeping changes.
It's the small things.
Those everyday actions that demonstrate our commitment to others.
Like listening with empathy.
Yeah, offering a helping hand or just acknowledging someone's hard work.
Exactly. Those small acts of kindness can make a huge difference.
They really can, and it all comes back to shifting our focus
From me to we.
from individual achievement to collective well-being.
And, maybe
Yeah.
if enough of us start embracing this Leaders Eat Last mentality,
We can create a world where everyone feels safe.
valued and empowered,
Yeah, to make a difference.
that's a beautiful vision.
It is, and one that I believe is within our reach,
I think so too.
if we're willing to make the effort
It starts with each of us choosing to lead.
with integrity.
Compassion and that deep commitment to serving others.
Well said.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Leaders Eat Last.
It does. We've covered a lot of ground today.
From the biology of teamwork.
To the challenges of leadership in the modern world.
But here's one final thought.
Okay, hit me with it.
What if we all started acting like the leaders we wish we had?
Oh, I like that.
What if we prioritized empathy, integrity, and the well-being of those around us?
Food for thought, right?
It is.
Until next time, keep diving deep.